Hey, hey, ho, ho. Genocide Joe has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Genocide Joe has got to go. Why is everybody fighting? I don't get it. So, that was, this has been quite a week. What a debate performance, or lack thereof. Okay, so, disclaimer. I watched the full debates, and, yes, Biden looked old and tired and lost his place a few times, but I know that he's an 81-year-old man, and I just had that baked into the cake of my assumptions of how the debate would turn out. So, shocking. I was not that surprised when that happened. And it's infuriating how it has completely overshadowed Trump's treasonous, straight-up Hitlerite approach to that debate. I mean, it's insane. Trump is out there saying he's supporting he supports these policies that are having women bleeding out in the parking lots of hospitals because they can't get an abortion. He supports the January 6th terrorists. He will not support American freedom and democracy if he loses, and will yet again try to seize power. I mean, but we have H2O. We have H2O. We have the best H2O, only H2O here in America, the States. Water. That's what we need to grow crops. Water is needed for the body. A great body, like mine. Amazing body. And the takeaway was Biden being a little bit tired and old, and he wasn't even cranky. If he'd been cranky, maybe. But Trump was on his usual unhinged ranting bullshit, as Biden having a few non-responses was what took the cake. And are you kidding me? Did you not see Trump's rambling, unhinged responses? This is insane. I'm losing my fucking mind. Bleeding out in parking lots because they can't get an abortion. Please explain that. Okay, you must be new to politics. So what's happening is because of Trump's support of overturning Roe versus Wade, women are not able to get abortions when their lives are in jeopardy. You know, when it's an ectopic pregnancy or the mother will bleed out or not survive. So, because they go to these hospitals and they need an abortion, they can't get one, or they're in the middle of a miscarriage, and it's extremely fucking painful. And then, lo and behold, they have to sit out in the parking lot because they get turned down for an abortion. And yes, they're bleeding out and women are dying. Penny Pica. So, consult your local Google. I'm sorry. I don't know if you're asking this in good faith or not, but look this up because it's disgusting what's happening. 4th of July margarita. I really feel like I should have a whiskey or a bourbon, something more American, but, well, I was born in Costa Rica, so. Is margarita even is that like on the flag of Costa Rica? I sound like such an ignoramus, but I always do. Anyway, the debate performance, yeah, it was bad, and I'm just, Trump's was, however bad Biden's was, Trump's was way fucking worse. Way fucking worse, but it didn't get called on. You know, and just like a few days after the debate, he is calling for military tribunals on Liz Cheney. Did you even hear about that? No. Crickets. Crickets from corporate media, because corporate media wants, this is their agenda. They want this horse race coverage. They don't want to cover the policy. They don't want to cover the impact of what it'll have on the lives of you and I, because these elitists running CNN, ABC, CBS, Wall Street fucking Journal, all these elitists in their ivory fucking towers, they don't have to deal with the consequences. They get the benefits. They get the tax cuts. They get all this shit. Meanwhile, you and I, with our LGBTQ family members, with our people of color, friends and family, we have to deal with the fallout of them being tortured, harassed, stalked, and in many cases murdered by these MAGA criminals. But that's not a problem for the corporate media, because they don't deal with any of that. So, now, because of corporate media framing this as Biden declining, and no doubt he has. He absolutely fucking has. That's undeniable. But to say that Trump hasn't declined more, the man has 34 felony counts. And corporate media wants to make this about, oh, Biden is tired. Oh, he can't stay up past 10 p.m. He's 81. No shit. That's why we have a vice president. I'm going to lose my mind. It's already happening. Little by little. It's going towards insanity. This is insane, the way that this has been framed. So because corporate media has pushed their agenda, and we're now stuck with Biden catering in the polls, which is really interesting because the polls have been very non-indicative of what's actually happening on the ground. Gabby, how the hell are you? Welcome. The polls have not predicted very well what's been happening. We've seen election after election since Biden show, these people behind in the polls, the Democrats, that is, in a lot of bellwether districts, in a lot of areas that have been heavily Trump favored, Democrats have came forward and gotten a win. So I take these polls with a grain of salt. However, there's very good points that the fact is that these stories are not going to go away. And now Biden's had almost 2 weeks now to come out and correct the record with a very long interview or do an hour-long press conference, a 2-hour-long press conference, whatever it would take. He could do a town hall. There needs to be some kind of an urgency from the Biden campaign to recognize, yes, we're in a bit of a crisis and we need to fix this, and the way is to get Biden out there and show that this was a one-off thing. The fact that they haven't really speaks volumes. You got to wonder what in the hell is going behind the scenes, but you know what? It's too late. You had your chance, you blew it, and you're not doing anything to help. So now we're stuck with the debate of what to do next. And it's scary because as much as I hate Joe Biden, as much as I hate Kamala Harris, the fact is the alternative is worse. Yes, Genocide Joe is going to fall asleep at his next press conference if he wins re-election. I don't care. That's why we have a vice president. I would rather have a fucking weekend at Bernie's with Joe Biden than lose American democracy, because that is what's at stake. As much as my huge problems with both of them, that is the only option. We are stuck in this binary sunset of shit. That didn't come out right. We are stuck in this binary sunset of shit, and we have to make a choice, and this is the choice. So, to improve the odds of the Democrats winning the presidency, which they must, a lot of people are talking about drafting Kamala Harris, and Kamala the cop. Fuck! Why does everything suck? Those are the choices. But that is the truth, that she can inherit Biden's war chest from his campaigns, from his fundraising, that is. And it's easiest to get her on the ticket since the voters literally already voted for her as part of the package, the ticket. So it makes sense. And, as much as I despise her, I look back on, the grilling that she gave she made Jeff Sessions almost fucking cry. You remember that? You're making me nervous. The way you're speaking, I'm afraid. Okay, Jeff fucking Keebler, elf boy. So it's the best option right now. And there's some really interesting stuff that I was reading is that, well, what about the vice presidency? Because if Biden steps out, Kamala Harris becomes the presidential nominee, how do you get a vice president on the ticket? What I was reading is it has to go through, and I am obviously not, this is far beyond my knowledge, I would have to look it up, right? But from what I have read is that it would have to be approved through the House and the Senate. Or Congress, at least. So that's interesting. Do you think the Republicans in the House of Representatives will cooperate in getting a Democratic vice president through this Congress? Yeah, sure. So it might just be a thing where there's only one president. Kamala Harris is the only person on the ticket. Now, dig this. Kamala Harris gets elected, something happens to her, and she's no longer able to continue the presidency. Guess who's next in line without a vice president? Mike, the pedophile supporter Johnson, the current Speaker of the House in the House of Representatives. Yeah. This shit just keeps getting weirder. By the way, who even is Donald Trump's vice presidential nominee? I know she's some religious kook, but that's a given. Anyone Trump is around is going to be a given. So, oh God, we are really, really, really stuck in a bind. And I wish there was a simple, easy solution, but there's not. We're really in uncharted waters, some seriously unprecedented times, and the stakes truly could not be higher. And, boy, yeah, for me, the debate wasn't really the thing that told me that Biden needs to go. the thing that really did it for me was this Supreme Court decision saying that presidents are, immune, basically, from that any crime could be an official act and therefore it's allowed. And Biden stumbles his way out on the stage and he says, I think it's malarkey, but I respect the decision and we're gonna go for it. We're gonna support it. Come on, guys, let's get serious. So that was the moment for me saying, you are not the man for this moment. We are facing an unprecedented level of fascism in this country. Crisis after crisis after crisis, you have underperformed or you have underwhelmed me with your capability of doing the right thing. Just look at what's happening in Gaza, right? That was the moment for me that said, this is not tenable. He needs to go, and we need to get someone who is a radical fighter and will actually do something. And again, will Kamala Harris do anything about the Supreme Court decision? Probably not. She's still, by and large, a centrist. But at the end of the day, we have to win the presidency. I mean, that's what it all comes back to. If we don't win the presidency, it is ushering in the march of fascism. And I mean, how is this even fair? That Biden is getting all this criticism for, being old and losing his train of thought when the guy who's his opponent will literally be in jail by the time of the fucking election. Oh, and by the way, this man just has a get-out-of-jail-free card stuffed into every fucking orifice. He's like a magician. We're like, oh, what's that behind your ear? Oh, it's a get-out-of-jail-free card. His sentencing was postponed. It was supposed to happen in July. It's postponed to September. Why? Where else does this happen? It would not happen for you or I. It only happens for these rich, elitist, white-collar criminals, and I've said it once, I've said it before, Judge Chutkan is a coward. He is not a brave man. He is not someone who stood up to fascism in this moment. Judge Chutkan is a coward who did the bare minimum in sanctioning Trump, and that was the most he could do when any other defendant would have been tossed in jail. Just remember, the corporate media does not have you on their side. And frankly, a lot of Democrats, unfortunately, do not have you on their mind. But at the end of the day, it really is the only option. In a stew of feces and urine, at least the Democrats are a rubber raft on top of it.